Hey guys, welcome. This is डॉक्टर डेक्स. ज़्यादा आउटपुट दे सको यूट्यूब पे तो उनके लिए ये वीडियो है जो लो बिट रेट पे अच्छी क्वालिटी निकालना चाहते हैं. उस हाई कर रहे हैं उनको कि उनका AVC1 मिल रहा है उनको. पहला तो कोडेक और दूसरा उनके पास जो स्ट्रीम कर रहे हैं उसमें ग्राफिक कार्ड RTX का 20 कार्ड से ट्राई करोगे 1060 या जो कि फेयरली अच्छे माने जाते हैं. अगर उनसे आप ट्राई करोगे चाहे उससे भी छोटा कोई कार्ड हो उससे अगर आप ट्राई करोगे तो बिल्कुल ब्लरी होने लगेगा. आपने देखा होगा बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े यूट्यूबर जिनके पास काफ़ी अच्छा ग्राफिक कार्ड है उनकी स्ट्रीम ब्लरी हो रही है. उसका रीज़न यही है कि उनका AVC1 मिल रहा है उनको. पहला तो कोडेक को आप कितना भी बिट रेट डालो आपका ब्लरी होना ही है जैसे ही ज़्यादा मूवमेंट होगी. क्यों? दिस इज डॉक्टर. क्योंकि AVC1 जो कोडेक है वो बिल्कुल ही घटिया.
What's up guys, my name's TechNumber here for Troubleshoot, and today I've got here, head across to settings, output, recording. You can see that I'm currently recording at 60,000 kilobits per second, which is 60 megabits per second. Googling for a bit of math, 60 megabits per second, 5 gigs for because I'm recording at 60 megabits and my screen is completely still, there's basically no data being kilobits per second. But if you these settings, the less compressed it is and the more bitrate it needs to have good. This preset will be far more important than it is with graphics card recording. Why is that? Well, because the faster the setting is there, the less compressed it is and the more bitrate it needs to have good quality. So if you're recording at very fast, then you'll need a ton of bitrate compared to recording at, say, something like medium or even slow, where it's compressed a lot more. And that takes me on to the second half of this video. This was all recording, and the same thing is true for streaming. Now, of course, streaming to different platforms have different limits. Twitch has a limit of about 6,000 kilobits per second, which means that you'll need to compress your video quite well. Now, streaming with NVENC usually wouldn't be an option for high-action games, such as first-person shooters, because you'll have a ton of movement and color information that needs to be compressed down really tiny, and you'll end up with a bunch of blocks and a blurry mess. You really need a higher bitrate for that. And that comes in with CPU encoding. Now, of course, CPU encoding can look a lot more beautiful, take a ton more catered to encoding video, and that's why they'll use a capture. Card or NDI to stream it from their first with a really high performance impact, and it comes out with a very low bitrate. So of course, streaming is a bit more complicated if you want to get into optimizing it. The simplest thing to do is to just use the maximum bitrate that you're allowed to use. If you're recording and you're having issues, you can pump that up as high as you wanted. As for CBR, VBR, CQP, and lossless, I wouldn't recommend recording lossless, but VBR or CBR would probably be good enough. I wouldn't recommend recording using the constant quality setting over here, CQP, because that number is a bit confusing to get your head around, but once you do, it may be a little bit better than using CBR or VBR, but that's a bit too in-depth for this video over here. Anyways, that's a super simple fix to this really common issue. Again, I'll show a low bitrate, and then I'll show a high bitrate so you can see the difference. And anyways, that's about it. Hopefully this video helped you and gave you some more insight. My name's been TechNumber here for Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao. Again, I'll show a low bitrate, and then I'll show a high bitrate so you can see the difference. And anyways, that's about it. Hopefully this video helped you and gave you some more insight. My name's been TechNumber here for Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao. Again, I'll show a low bitrate, and then I'll show a high bitrate so you can see the difference.